The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Ethel Bunce.
Well, may I help you, sir? Something in porch furniture, perhaps? Now that summer's coming, we have some nice specials.
Oh, no, thanks. I was in here a few days ago, last week, I guess it was, looked at that new chair, you know, that, what do you call it, the back king chair?
Oh, yes.
And we met outside. You were rolling up the awning.
Oh, of course. Mr. Piper.
Yes.
It's Piper, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, how's your backache?
Oh, well, the fact is, it's pretty good today.
Yeah, well, a long, hard evening. That's when it catches up with you, isn't it?
Yes. Supposed to be meeting my wife here to look at the chair. Guess she's not here yet.
Oh, would you excuse me? I'm the only one in the store during lunch hour. I have to get the phone up there in the office.
Sure. Go right ahead. I'll just wait there.
Excuse me. I'm waiting for my wife, too, to look at a table. I couldn't help overhearing. You got a bad back?
Oh, yes. Well, one of those things, you know. I had it for years.
Kind of just aches usually, but every now and then you get a sudden sharp pain. Just lasts a second, and then it's gone.
Well, yeah, that's about it, but nothing to be done about it, I guess. Just put up with it.
That's what I thought. Then one day I bent down to tie my shoelace, and I couldn't straighten up. Boy, I never want to go through that again. Operation, 8 weeks in a hospital, took a bone out of my leg. But I tell you, feel like a new man.
Oh, well, I don't think mine is quite the same thing. It
sounds like it. You see what it is? There's a little disc between your vertebrae. Sort of acts like a pad, you know, and when the disc slips...
yeah, I know. Well, I don't think mine is quite that serious.
Yeah, just what I thought. And then one of these days you'll get a sharp pain running right down your leg, and, boy, you're in for trouble.
Yeah, well, mine isn't really quite that bad.
If you have to get an operation, get Dr. Triple. Triple. That's right. Best bone man in the country. Oh, there's my wife. Nice talking to you.
Well, thank you. Then nice to talk to you.
Oh, Mr. Piper. Mrs. Piper hasn't shown up yet?
Huh? Oh, no. I'm still waiting for her, as usual.
For 104 years, the Young Women's Christian Association has been a social standard bearer for young women of all nations, creeds, and ages. This is YWCA Week, saluting the work of this fine organization, now in 1,600 American communities in 69 countries throughout the world. The programs for the YW, for sociability, health instruction, fellowship, recreation, and good citizenship are some of the benefits available to individuals and their communities. Teenage girls find example and inspiration. The transient girl finds a warm, friendly atmosphere to stop in. Classes in business and industry. Courses in marriage relations, civic affairs activities. There is literally no end to the number of ways in which the YWCA helps women, helps the nation. This week, pay a visit to your local YWCA. You'll find the program you want to round out your present existence. You may find a vital gap you can fill because of your training and experience. Look ahead with the YWCA. Join.
Sorry I'm late. Have you been waiting long? Oh, goodness, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing.
You look as though you lost your last friend. I'm only 10 minutes late, and I got caught in traffic. Well, where's that chair the salesman gave you such a sales pitch about last week?
Well, he'll be here in just a minute. He had to go answer the phone again. He's the only one in the store at lunch hour. I was just talking to a guy about his bad back.
Well, if the chair is anything like the picture you showed me of it, that big, cumbersome thing with a headrest and the footrest and heaven knows what levers and springs.
Now, look, that chair was specially designed for the tired businessman who has a perpetual backache. That certainly describes me. Point is, I didn't even tell the sales guy anything. He just took one look at me and he said, "You're a man with a backache." Yeah, and he dragged me in to show me the chair because he has a bad back, too. The salesman, I mean. Oh, here it comes now.
Well, knowing you, it seems funny I haven't heard more about this backache in all the years we've been married.
Well,
suddenly, some salesman takes one look at you and knows you have a backache.
Well, the chair is wonderful. It's really a wonderful...
Salesman sounds pretty wonderful, too.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Piper. Have I kept you both waiting?
Oh, that's all right. This is my wife, Mr.
Rupert, Charlie Rupert. Oh, yes,
I
I recognize Mrs. Piper.
Oh.
Hey, you're quite active in the Women's Club, aren't you, Mrs. Piper? I've seen your picture in the paper many times.
Oh, yes, I am in the Women's Club.
Well, the pictures don't do your wife justice, Mr. Piper. Oh, she's much prettier than she photographs.
Oh?
Now, you want to see that chair. Now, if you just step this way.
Oh, I don't like his type.
Now, what's the matter with you? We paid you a compliment. He said you were prettier than your pictures.
Fact remains he recognized me from my pictures, didn't he?
Right over here, please.
Come on. Oh, for goodness sakes, where's he taking us?
Now, just step up, please, and don't bump your head.
No.
I'm afraid it's a very small doorway.
Oh, well,
Miss Piper, watch your step.
Yes, I will, thank you.
Mr. Piper, now just step right in, please.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Careful. There. Well, for heaven's sakes, this is the display window.
Yes, we decided to put the chair on display yesterday.
Oh, honestly, well, I feel so conspicuous. I mean, people walking past on the sidewalk can look right in at us.
Well, that's what we hope they do.
Yes,
Now, this chair has flexible springs with the added feature of triple play coils and reinforced threaded Oh, I'm sorry, there's that phone again. Will you folks excuse me?
Oh,
yes, of course. Go right ahead.
No, actually, you don't really need me anyway because that chair sells itself. You just sit down and lie back, Mrs. Piper.
Go ahead, sit down, honey. Try it. I tell you, really, that chair is so darn comfortable. I know it isn't much for looks, but even so, it's not that bad. And, we can get it covered in 10 different samples of upholstery to choose from, Go on, darling, try it. Sit down. Sit down and just lie back in it. You'll see.
Heaven's sakes, I'm not going to do that with people going past the window.
Oh, silly. All right. Well, I will, by God.
I don't know what you mean. The chair isn't bad. It is just awful. When I think of how careful I was to select everything in our living room. And
now, look, Ellie, see? I can lie back and then just... See, I just touch this little lever, and it works the footrest, you see, any level I want. And if I pull it the other way, it adjusts the headrest,
well, it just is a monstrosity. I don't care what you say, dear. I think it real... Dear.
And a built-in ashtray.
Dear.
And
dear, people are stopping.
Even a little tray that pulls out, see, honey, to keep a book on or a cigarette.
Dear, the crowd is collecting.
And if you want to...
People are...
Oh.
Let's get out of here.
No, I didn't...
Where's the little door we came through?
Well, wait a minute. Help me out of this chair.
Oh, why did you get
in? All right, I'm all right.
There you are.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's no...
Let's get out of here.
There's no door. It's all panels. Which panel was the door?
Well, we came in this side, didn't we? There's no doorknob.
Now push everything.
Well, it's push. One of these darn doors that apparently has a spring lock just opens from the other side.
Do something.
Well, all right. Look, we might as well relax until the salesman gets back from the phone. We'll just have to...
Really? There's at least 10 people out there just staring at us. Look at them. What are we going to...
Pete's sake, honey. Well, look pleasant, will you? I mean, don't act as if...
Yes. Just feel idiotic. Haven't you got a newspaper or something? We could sit down, hold it in front of our faces at any rate.
I haven't got a thing. Well, now we know what it's like to be inside a goldfish bowl.
Honestly?
Well, just relax, dear. The salesman will be back in a minute.
My goodness. What's going on in the window?
You got me, lady. I've been standing here for 20 minutes. Nothing's happened yet. A man in there, woman, they just kind of walk around. Then they sit down. Then once in a while, one of them gets up and hits the back wall there. I don't know what that means.
My goodness, stores will do anything these days to attract a crowd.
Yeah, but if they put live models in a window, they ought to make it more interesting. That don't mean a thing.
Well, it's probably a pantomime, showing how a wife brings her husband shopping. Yes, there now, you see? She's pretending to cry. I suppose because he won't buy what she wants.
I don't know. It's the nuttiest store window display I ever saw.
Will you do something?
What do you want me to do? I don't know where that salesman went. Maybe he forgot us and went out the back door to lunch.
There must be somebody in the store.
I don't know. As far as I can figure out, in a furniture store, everybody's always upstairs.
Embarrassing.
Now, for Pete's sake, will you stop bawling? There must be 30 people out there looking at us. Just, pretend we don't see them. And
why you want to look at that awful chair anyhow that I wouldn't even have in the living room?
I told you I wanted something for my backache.
Oh, your backache. Sudden everything is your backache that I never heard of before.
I may well have to have an operation, that's all.
An operation?
An operation with a bone grafted out of my leg.
What do you mean an operation?
For the love of Mike, I tell you, this is no time to get hysterical now, will you?
No time to get hysterical. I can't think of a better time. Here I am trapped in a store window on public display. This is the time you choose to break the news you're having a terrible operation.
Please, I was only explaining why I wanted to look at the chair.
What does the chair have to do with your leg?
It isn't my leg, it's my back. If I have a chair, maybe I wouldn't have to have it.
Have what?
have the operation. What do you think?
You'd have a chair instead of an operation?
Honey, can't you calm down and look? People are looking at us.
I don't know what you're talking about at all. I just don't. You talk all this talk about...
There's a policeman out there. Look, a policeman breaking up the crowd.
Pound down the window. Try to get his attention. Pound down the window.
Officer! Officer!
We'll return to the couple next door in just a moment. Tibet in the news. Who's an expert on Tibetan affairs? Who interviewed the boy king personally at the top of the world? Why, Lowell Thomas, of course. Ask us about another part of the world, and there's every chance the answer again would be Lowell Thomas. The roving raconteur has been just about everywhere, seen just about everything. So when a story breaks, he has that extra edge of intimate first-hand experience to give extra dimension to his reporting. One of the most colorful men in the industry, one of the most striking different sounds on the CBS Radio network is Lowell Thomas, heard every Monday through Friday evening with his fascinating substantive reporting. Only a network could bring you a Lowell Thomas. Only the CBS Radio network does. Remember, the keen mind and formidable experience of this noted world traveler, lecturer, and CBS newsman is an exclusive with the affiliated stations of CBS Radio Monday through Friday evenings. Don't miss Lowell Thomas tonight.
Please, you have my apologies.
I consider the public humiliation that my wife and I have endured trapped in your store window.
Mrs. Piper, I can't tell you how sorry I am. I got held up on several phone calls, and then I was having a terrible time about Mrs. Grindelmeyer's end table.
I don't give a darn about Mrs. Grindelmeyer's end tables. My poor wife out there humiliated in front of crowds of
at least
people.
50 people out there staring
there
at
was
us.
closer to 75 people out there. You heard the policeman. He
Mr.
said
Piper, it could have happened to anybody.
Well, it didn't. It happened to us.
I know, but I don't understand how it happened. Now, apparently the catch on the door is defective. The lock should not have sprung when I left to answer the phone.
Look, it did spring, and we were trapped. I don't like your attitude that it was just an amusing little incident that could have happened to anybody. By golly, I am going to sue this store.
Sue?
Yes, that's what I'm going to do.
No, Mr. Piper, please, you misunderstood. I am not treating this lightly. I am not only offering the store's sincerest apologies, but naturally intend to present you with a back king chair as a gift.
Look,
of course. Now, you just let me check and see how soon we can send it out.
They're giving us that awful chair?
Well, yeah, apparently. Yeah, you heard him. He was afraid I was going to sue the store.
You tell him that you're not going to sue the store. We don't want the chair. You admit it yourself. It would look terrible in our living room. Why, stretched out, it takes up 8 feet of space. It's like a hospital bed. Where'll we put it?
We can deliver the chair tomorrow, Mr. Piper.
Oh,
we don't want it.
Well, thank you. That's fine. Look, we're getting it free, for heaven's sakes. It'll be good for my backache.
Well, I'm afraid your backache is going to turn into my headache.
The Couple Next Door is written by Peg Lynch and stars Peg Lynch and Ethel and Bunce with Mary Lone, Jay Barney, Charles Mendick, and Ed Bryce, and is produced by Walter Hart.